Hey, what's up? DFS Rico coming at you with my picks and insight for this three-game LPL slate on DraftKings for April March 7th on Tuesday. Um, yeah, so early on, just to get started, if you guys can like, subscribe, comment at the end of the video if you got any questions, and then we'll get started. So first, I like to get started by talking about the favorites, and you'll see the three favorites are three games going on right here. Dominus Esports versus Billy Gaming. Billy Gaming is favored, slight favorites. E-Star versus JD Gaming, which I think will be the best game on the slate. And then LNG Esports versus FunPlus Phoenix, which is FunPlus is favored and E-Star is slight favorites. Playing a really good team. JD Gaming has been playing really good lately. E-Star is on a slump, so I mean it's kind of is either E-Star gonna bounce back or JD Gaming gonna continue their hot streak. I'm personally leaning FunPlus Phoenix, obviously in cash, and then probably Billy Gaming in cash as well, and then E-Star and JD will be the GPP more like, because I think JD can be E-Star. I mean, the way Kanavi, their jungler, has been playing lately has been insane. He actually leads the LPL in player of the games with 10, and then Do and B, which is playing for FunPlus Phoenix, has 9 today. And then, so it's going to be on Kanavi. I mean, if Kanavi has a great game, he did just get player of the week as well for last week. If they are winning, it's going to be due in part because of Kanavi. So just depends. E-Star, I do believe, has a better team, but they are on a slump. So they need to bounce out of that before I can really be super confident in them. So yeah, like I mentioned, FunPlus Phoenix, E-Star, and Billy Gaming are our favorites right now. I'm leaning towards FunPlus, E-Star, and Billy Gaming winning, but I can, like I mentioned, I can see JD Gaming beating E-Star, and I could see Dominus beating Billy Gaming as well. So let's just get started. Top lane, you got Khan, which is going to remain in the starting lineup. Did play for them last week, and he's staying in the starting lineup. He's a really good top laner when he is playing. 12 kills per match, 16.7 assists. And you got Zalbai for E-Star, 17 assists per match, which leads the slate as far as top laners. Good top laner. When they're clicking, they're really good. They're probably the best team to watch, honestly, as far as like action and activity. You know, they do got a lot going. They lead the slate in kills per game as a team, and they lead the slate. Not lead the slate, but they're like in the middle with deaths per game. So they're really active. They constantly put pressure on any lane. It starts with their jungler, or WEI, whatever you want to call him, but starts with him really. He's a really good jungler. 26 assists per match, which is just absurd. They did have a terrible game last game versus RNG. RNG is on a hot streak though, so I don't blame them. They have been playing really good. Um, and then they did lose to Vici Gaming, which was on a hot streak as well. They did just lose to, but before that, I mean, Wii was playing insane. But top lane, I mean, Game Gooden is out now. Khan's replaced him. Then you got ADD for BLG, which is remaining in the starting lineup. It's pretty good. It's nothing too crazy, but he's solid. I mean, if you're picking them to win, he's probably one guy you'll include in there for saving, and then Natural for DMO. He's probably the main guy I'd play for DMO if I am playing them. He's probably been the most consistent in victories, at least. Leads the slate in top lane kills per game, kills per match. I mean, Khan has number one right now, but he hasn't played much, so don't really include him in there. And then 7, Zoom is starting for GDG. Started last match, played good. Not a bad play if you're playing JDG. And then I mentioned, leads the slate as junglers and assists. Really good player. I mean, he has super high upside, 128 point upside, which is just absurd for a jungler. If you actually watch the games, he's really active on the map. Like I mentioned, they are the most exciting team to watch. Like, if it's as far as kills, if they are winning, they're going to have the most kills and assists on the slate for sure. I hope they return back to what they were doing before this last match where they literally didn't do anything. Then Tion for FPX if you're going to be stacking them in cash, obviously. Then obviously I mentioned JDG, Kanavi's probably the best jungler in the slate right now. Like I mentioned, he leads the LPL in player of the games, 8.6 kills per. He leads the slate as well on as far as junglers on kills per game with 3.3 kills per game, 8.6 per match. Really solid player. If they're winning, it's going to be on his back. So practically 80 point floor when they're winning. So really good and consistent. And then you got, Meteor for BLG if you are playing them in cash, and all the other guys like, I think Xiao Ping should be starting still for them, so he's not a bad play. And then Cryan for E-Star probably has the highest ceiling on the slate between him and his counterpart in the AD carry Wink. They probably have the highest ceiling on the slate. Like I mentioned, if they're playing well, they're going to get the most kills on the slate. I feel like they're the team you're going to want in your GPP if they do win. Doing B lead second in the LPL and player of the games for today's slate, or actually second in the entire LPL anyways for a player of the game. So practically tells you if Fun Plus Phoenix is playing well, he's usually one of the key reasons. 17.5 assists per match, 11.6 kills per match, practically 90 fantasy points per match. Not too bad if you have him in. That's your mid lane. And then Fofo, if you're playing BLG, you always want that mid laner in your stack. In victory, last time they won, put up 111 fantasy points. This isn't going to be like a toss up, honestly. They're both only won 3 matches. The only difference I see is DMO gets 2-0'd a lot. BLG actually puts up a fight. They've won a game against some of the best teams. EDG just last week, they beat World Elite. FPX, which is playing the best team on the slate, they got a game on them. They got a game on E-Star. They've gotten a game on OMG. Like they actually put up fights against good teams. So that's pretty the deciding factor for me, at least, to decide which way I'm leaning. And then Yagao for JDG if you do play them. Then you got Wink, which is actually he's the guy with, in my opinion, with the highest ceiling on the slate. He had a streak where he was putting up over 120 fantasy points per game. I think he could return to that today. Like I said, it just depends which E-Star shows up. 17.9 assists per game, 96 fantasy points per match. LWX if you're stacking Fun Plus Phoenix and Cash, like I mentioned. Who else you got? Jing Zhao for Billy Gaming. Like I mentioned, you're stacking the AD carry in the mid laner if you're going to be looking at taking down some of these bigger tournaments. But I don't think Gala's starting for them anymore. But yeah, I think Gala should be starting for DMO, so it's nothing wrong with him. Don't mind him if you're playing the DMO. And then you got FPX Chris. Do like him in cash, obviously, as well. 65 has nothing too special. They're not really a crazy team. Fun Plus Phoenix, they play really conservative. Just win, but they win. Shall see, obviously, highest upside out of any support on the slate. 25.3 assists per game. Nothing too crazy lately. And then 77.26, 106, 102.16 in the last 3 victories that they had. It's been playing pretty solid. Leads the slate in assists per match. So like I mentioned, if they are playing like they were playing previously in the season, the E-Star is going to get you the most points on the slate. Just depends which E-Star shows up. LV Mal for JD Gaming, he's one guy I'd include in there if I am stacking them. Good player. Didn't do nothing too crazy yesterday, but they were huge favorites. And then Kanavi kind of stole the show yesterday for them. But I think that's really it. If, like I mentioned, if you're stacking cash, I'd recommend FPX and Billy Gaming. And then if you're playing like GPPs, I'd probably recommend more like whoever you decide on, E-Star or JD Gaming, and then DMO. But personally, like I mentioned, I'm just gonna probably play a little conservative today and just play the favorites with FPX, E-Star, Billy Gaming. I do feel pretty confident that E-Star will bounce back today, so gonna put my chips on them and let's see how it goes. Alright, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.